Hi everyone, my name is Abby Homburger, and today I'm doing my presentation on my role in a learning organization. And this is for my Learning and Organizations class here at University College through DU. As we'll be discussing what my specific role in a learning organization is, I figure I should talk a little bit about what my organization is and what we do. So my organization is Fisher Early Learning Center. Fisher Early Learning Center is a child care center that's located on the DU campus that is affiliated with the Morgridge College of Education. We really strive to be an early childhood education center versus a daycare, and I think that's something that we strongly express throughout our center. It's really important to us that we offer a unique blend of quality childcare and innovative curriculum that engages and challenges children from infancy to preschool. And my specific role at Fisher is that I'm a pre-K teacher, so I work with the oldest age group, preparing them to get ready for kindergarten. Now, while a lot goes into that, I think that's a good summary of what it is I do. So now that we've talked a little bit about what Fisher Early Learning Center is, I think it's important that we dive into our visions. So I took this off of the Fisher Early Learning Center's website as to exactly what their vision is. So it reads, through partnerships and families, with families and communities and a commitment to professional development, Fisher will serve as the model for high quality care and education that results in creating an optimal learning environment where all children achieve their full potential. I think it's really important that we stress the all children part, as Fisher Early Learning Center, as all of the University of Denver is, working to actively promote diversity, equity, and inclusion. And then my vision for myself at Fisher that kind of relates to this is that I want to help families feel that they have a sense of belonging at Fisher. And in the long run, find a way to support lower income families to attend Fisher, as I feel like quality early childhood education isn't something that's necessarily easily accessible or affordable. But we can come back to how we can connect those later. Now that we've kind of discussed what the visions that I hold and what Fisher holds are, let's dive into mental models. And if you don't know what mental model means, it's basically an overarching term for any sort of concept or framework or worldview that you carry with you in your mind. So, Fisher's mental model is that they focus highly on promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion at our center. We want to make sure that our program is impartial, fair, and provides equal and possible outcomes for every individual at our center, and that those individuals feel a sense of belonging. So as we dive into this, I want to think about how can I support this mental model? For this specific mental model, it's very important that we first recognize any biases that we might have, and we need to have frequent discussions on how, as a center, we can actively work on promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion. One thing that Fisher has done as a center is that we have established a diversity committee to talk about the issues as well as new ideas on how to promote it. So let's keep going. The next part is revolving around personal mastery and my own personal mastery within this mental model and vision in our organization. So I feel like I have this little yellow triangle here that this is my current reality and this is my vision. In order to help families feel a sense of belonging at Fisher, I think it's important that I myself actively take the time to learn about other cultures and backgrounds so that they can be accurately represented here at our school. And I think that's one of the biggest things I need to work on as far as promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion in our school. As we keep going, I kind of want to talk about the future development of my role. So I wanted to come back actually to this question here at the bottom. How can these connect when we're talking about what my vision is and what Fisher's vision is? So with that, I wanted to bring up the part where we want to help families feel a sense of belonging within Fisher and find a way to support lower income families to attend Fisher. I think one of the biggest ways of doing this would be working on advocating to the University of Denver that Fisher should accept CCAP, otherwise known as the Child Care Assistance Program. So for those of you who may not know, CCAP, or the Child Care Assistance Program, is a program that helps families who are homeless, working, searching for work in a school, so that they can find low-income child care assistance. Families that are enrolled with Colorado Works program can also use CCAP services. So each families would get their child's child care paid for by the government. And I think this is really important because not many families are able to access quality child care. And I think it's really important that all children receive early childhood education, as it helps them grow up and thrive and be successful adults. However, while this is a really great program, it's not really something that is easy to get accepted. There are lots of things that need to take place in order for CCAP to be applied to any family who attends Fisher Early Learning Center. And because we are affiliated with DU, it makes it a little bit more challenging for us to receive government funding through this private school. So there are some pros and cons to this. I think the biggest con in the eyes of the university is that potentially they may lose money. However, for a pro to this, a child who is really in need of, or a family who is really in need of accessing child care, will be able to receive it, and at that, it being quality and one of the best rated child care centers in Denver. Through advocating and delving into more research on having DU accept the CCAP program, I think this is something that I would definitely still like to work on as a future personal development. Yeah, I'll come on back to this. So this is kind of what my role is. If I had to sum it up, I am a pre-K teacher who is looking to support families and children, especially those children who may not have access to quality early childhood education. That would be my long-term goal, and hopefully it can be promoted here at Fisher. I hope you liked my presentation, and yeah, thanks.